The G36 rifle is an automatic weapon for firing semi-automatic or burst fire. The G36 has a gas-operated system with a rotary bolt head. The hammer-forged and hard chrome-plated barrel is firmly locked to the barrel extension and to the receiver by a locking nut. Receiver, pistol grip, foldable buttstock and handguard are made of fiber-reinforced polymer. The magazine with its transparent receiver holds maximum 30 cartridges. The optical sight is integrated into the carrying handle. The G36 is available in two versions, the G36E and the G36KE. The G36KE is provided with a shorter barrel and a shorter handguard. Handling, cleaning, disassembly and assembly are identical for both versions. The cocking handle serves for loading the G36. It is used for moving the bolt in the receiver. The cocking handle permits operation by both left and right-handed shooters. The cocking handle can be swiveled outward and locked in position to be used as a forward assist. During firing, the cocking handle is parallel to the bolt and it moves with the bolt. The bolt catch holds the bolt open after the last round has been fired from the magazine. When the magazine is removed, the bolt can also be manually held open by pulling it all the way to the rear and by pushing the bolt catch at the front of the trigger guard manually upward whilst releasing the bolt. The safety fire selector lever is arranged on both sides of the grip. It can be swiveled to the positions S safe, E single fire and F burst fire. The G36 magazine is made of transparent polymer and holds maximum 30 cartridges. The loading condition of the magazine is visible from outside. Coupling studs at the outer sides of the magazine walls can be used for joining several magazines. By unlocking its laterally arranged locking mechanism, the buttstock can be folded, which results in a reduction of the overall length of the rifles by approximately 24 centimeters. The magazine may be loaded with a maximum of 30 cartridges. When the magazine is fully loaded, the first round on the magazine lips must be positioned at the right side. With the bolt in the closed position, insert the magazine until the magazine catch clearly engages, pull the cocking lever all the way to the rear and let it snap forward. With the bolt in the open position, insert the magazine until the magazine catch clearly engages, pull the cocking lever to the rear and let it snap forward. The G36 rifle is now loaded and set at safe. Unset the G36 safety and select the mode of fire. Firing is possible both with the buttstock extended and folded. When the magazine is empty, set the G36 at safe and exchange the magazine. After the exchange of the magazine, the G36 is ready to fire again. In case of an interruption or completion of firing, the rifle must be set at safe and unloaded. For this purpose, set the safety fire selector lever at S safe, remove the magazine and unload the cartridge from the chamber. Check and mind that there is no round left in the chamber. For uncocking of the G36 rifle, place the safety fire selector lever at E and pull the trigger. Subsequently, set the fire selector safety lever back to S safe. The G36 can be field stripped without tools. For disassembly, pull the locking pins out of the magazine well and out of the receiver. Remove the grip to the bottom and insert the locking pins into the storage holes in the buttstock. For further disassembly, fold buttstock to the receiver. Push the backplate to the bottom and remove backplate and recoil spring guide rod with recoil spring. Remove the bolt. Press the magazine catch and remove the magazine guide to the bottom. Pull locking pin out of the handguard and insert it into the buttstock. Remove handguard to the front. Pull the push rod against spring pressure to the rear, pivot it aside and remove to the front. Remove the gas piston. Push out the safety pin in the bolt head carrier and remove the firing pin to the rear. Remove the control bolt to the side and take out the bolt head to the front. For cleaning and care of the G36, use the pertaining cleaning kit. Competent carrying out of the cleaning and care operations ensures constant readiness to fire, prevents from premature wear and tear, avoids accidents, and saves maintenance expenses and time. For cleaning of the chamber, screw the chamber cleaning brush onto the cleaning rod. Clean the chamber with a chamber cleaning brush soaked in oil from powder residues. Screw the barrel cleaning brush onto the completely assembled cleaning rod. Pull the barrel cleaning brush soaked in oil through the barrel. Cleaning is preferentially carried out immediately after firing when the barrel is still warm from firing. Let the oil react for some hours. Then pull the dry barrel cleaning brushes again through the barrel until the brushes remain clean. Clean the gas piston, bolt parts and grip, as well as all the other metallic parts with a clean cloth, a cleaning brush and slightly oil. Clean the aiming optics with the optics cleaning cloth. Synthetic parts may be cleaned with water. In case of heavy fouling, soap may also be used for cleaning. Introduce the bolt head from the front into the bolt head carrier. Mind that the extractor points to the right in the firing direction. Place the control bolt with its control surfaces parallel to the firing direction into the bolt head and the bolt head carrier. Insert the firing pin from the rear into the receiver. Push in the safety pin until it is even with the side of the bolt head carrier. Before assembling the G36, all disassembled parts must be cleaned, carefully dried, and the metallic parts must be slightly oiled. Also oil the bolt guide rails in the receiver. Insert the gas piston into the gas cylinder. Introduce the push rod from the front into the receiver, push the rod against spring pressure to the rear and insert it into the rear of the gas piston. Slide the handguard from the front onto the receiver and push in the locking pin. Place the magazine well with its front extensions onto the attachment studs on the receiver. Swivel the well upward until the magazine catch engages. Insert the bolt from the rear into the receiver. Insert the back plate with the recoil spring into the receiver. Introduce the bearing stud on top of the back plate into the hole at the top rear end of the receiver. Unfold and extend the buttstock. Before mounting the grip, cock the hammer all the way and press down the automatic sear. Subsequently, place the grip from the bottom onto the receiver and fasten it with both locking pins. After completion of the assembly, set the G36 at safe and carry out a functional test. For this purpose, cock the G36 and jack the operation of the bolt catch. Unset the safety, pull the trigger and reset the safety. All movable parts must work smoothly after reassembly. The G36 in the initial position, cocked and set at safe. The bolt is in battery position. The bolt firmly locks with the locking lugs of the bolt head into the barrel extension. The trigger group comprises the following assemblies: hammer, safety lever index, safety axle, slide, sear, trigger, bolt catch, automatic sear, hammer spring, sear spring. For unsetting the safety, place the safety fire selector lever at E. The safety axle turns and allows the trigger to be pulled. When pulling the trigger, the front of the sear pivots downward and releases the hammer. The longitudinally movable sear is pushed all the way to the front by the sear spring. The hammer hits the firing pin and ignites the cartridge. Upon acceleration of the bullet, parts of the propellant gases enter the gas port and push the gas piston and the push rod to the rear. During the rearward movement of the bolt head carrier, the bolt head is rotated via the control bolt and the control cam in the bolt head carrier. This rotary movement of the bolt head disengages the locking lugs and the bolt head separates from the barrel extension. The extractor in the bolt head extracts the empty case from the chamber. The rearward traveling bolt cocks the hammer. During the rearward travel of the bolt, the case is ejected to the right through the ejection port. In its rearmost position, the bolt hits the buffer in the backplate. The recoil spring returns the bolt to the front and the bolt head feeds the next cartridge from the magazine into the chamber. The automatic sear engages into the hammer and catches the hammer. The bolt head abuts the rear of the barrel whilst the bolt head carrier pursues its forward movement. This rotates and locks the bolt in the barrel extension. In the final phase of the forward movement of the bolt head carrier pivots the automatic sear out of engagement with the hammer. The hammer is caught now by the sear, which is pushed to the rear. The G36 is ready to fire again. The complete sequence of operations is shown once more without interruptions. The G36 aiming optics are integrated into the carrying handle. The optical sight is provided with a 3 times or optionally a 1.5 times magnification and a specifically designed reticle. The reticle is provided with range marks from 200 up to 800 meters in steps of 200 meters. The center of the reticle is used for ranges up to 300 meters. The exterior diameter of the circular reticle serves as a lead mark for laterally moving targets at a range of 200 meters and a target speed of approximately 15 kilometers per hour. The interior diameter of the circular reticle corresponds to a man size of 1.75 meters at a 400 meters range. The stadia pattern at the left corresponds to a man size of 1.75 meters at ranges of 200, 400, 600 and 800 meters and is used as a RAF rangefinder. The heights of the vertical range mark lines for 600 and 800 meters also correspond to a man size of 1.75 meters at the respective ranges. The horizontal line across the central reticle is used as an aid against canting. The sight is adjusted for elevation by means of the upper adjustment screw and for windage by means of the lateral adjustment screw. Rotating the adjustment screws for one graduation changes the point of aim for 2.3 centimeters at 100 meters range. The carrying sling permits the carrying of the G36 in different modes. The front snap hook of the sling is engaged into the eye bolt at the handguard. The rear snap hook of the sling is hooked into the eyelet at the rear of the receiver. The length adjustment of the sling is carried out by means of the rear buckle. The sling has to be adjusted in length in a way that the forearm fits between the sling and the rifle when the rifle is horizontally pending on the sling. In this configuration, the G36 may be conveniently carried with a sling over the shoulder. The multi-purpose carrying sling also permits carrying of the rifle like a rucksack. When the upper sling part is looped around head and shoulders, the rifle may be carried in front of the chest. Rifle grenades can also be fired with a G36. When firing rifle grenades, mind that the safety fire selector lever is set at E, single fire. Accurate firing of the rifle grenades is only possible when firing the rifle from the shoulder, either standing or kneeling. The blank firing device is a training device for firing blank cartridges. Different blank firing devices are required for the G36E and the G36KE. The blank firing device is screwed onto the muzzle instead of the flash hider and it is fastened with a fork wrench. The bayonet is slid from the front over the flash hider and engages in the bayonet holder. The bipod is attached at the front of the handguard by means of the eye bolt. It is used as a support during firing and may be folded alongside the handguard. The twin drum magazine with a capacity of 100 rounds may be used instead of the 30 round box magazine. The night sighting device is attached onto the carrying rail of the G36 and it is fastened by means of the clamping lever. When the night sighting device is attached, the target image is projected into the aiming optics. Therefore, no specific adjustment is necessary when the night sighting device is added. The magazine filler facilitates loading of the magazines, especially loading of the 100-round drum magazine. The muzzle cap is attached to the muzzle and protects the interior of the barrel against exterior fouling. For well-protected carrying of the G36, a bag is available. This bag protects the rifle and its accessories against dirt and dust and facilitates storage and transport.